Welcome to Daily Plunge. We are in Galatians chapter 2, verses 11 through 21. Paul has been talking about his interaction with Peter. He says, after some time, Peter came to Antioch and he was doing fine there, but then along came some legalistic Christians that James, the brother of Jesus, sent. And Peter was afraid of this circumcision group. And they basically were saying that it's Jesus plus circumcision, or it's Jesus plus the law. And if it's Jesus plus something else, then it's really not Jesus. It's that other thing that you have to do, right? And so he said, even Barnabas got led astray by this stupidity. And they were trying to force circumcision on the Gentiles because they themselves are so insecure about the faith in Jesus Christ. So Paul says, I took Peter on face to face. I called him out for being a hypocrite because he used to eat with the Gentiles, with those sinners. Didn't have any problem. But then those legalistic Christians came along, and he said, even though, you're a Jew, you're one who's supposed to live under the law, you didn't live like one, you lived like a Gentile. But now you want to force the Gentiles to live under the very law that you yourself cannot keep. And so he picks up at verse 15. He says, we who are Jews, by birth, we know, even though we're born under the law, born under the covenant, we know that no one is made right with God through the works of the law. We know that being a good person will not get you to heaven, is basically what verse 15 and 7 is saying. Instead, he says, verse 16, we too have our faith is in Jesus Christ, because we know that we are justified, made right with God through our faith in Jesus Christ. Now, some of your translation may have the word put our faith. That word put is not in the Greek text. It just simply says we have pisteo, we have faith. And what does that mean? We have a faith relationship with Jesus Christ where we trust God to do what he promises to do for us. And so we're made right by faith, not by works of the law. Now, no one's justified by their own efforts. It's not about being a good person. And so he says we find ourselves among sinners because once you recognize that the law can't save you and you put aside that delusion, once you accept that you need Jesus Christ and his salvation, you can only be with sinners because Jesus only saves sinners. People can't save themselves. And so he says, Christ died for all the self-striving, moralistic sinners. And so even though through the law, we thought if we were being a good person, we could make it, but instead the law just crushes us. And so through the law, I've been crushed in my sins so that I now might live for God, that I would depend upon God, live for Jesus Christ. And all my self-striving, I should say, not sacrifice, is crucified with Christ. I no longer live, but it is Christ who lives in me. And then verse 21, I can be wholly on my own efforts. If I'm a good person, then there's no need for Jesus and his cross, which shows you that it doesn't work. Thanks, friends. Have a blessed day.